Hello everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to another video on the PokerStaples channel, and today we're going to play something a little bit differently. We didn't have a stream yesterday, so we're going to try a game that we've never tried before on the channel, and hopefully you guys will like it. I almost never get to play this game, so it's going to be fun to sort of review and talk about it a little bit, and that is going to be Stud 8. Yes, I know, don't get crazy, I'll explain what's going on here. So let's go take a seat at a table. This is a very fun game. Basically how it works is you start with 3 cards, right? And we can see these 2 people are in a hand. So you get 2 cards down and then 1 card up. So everyone can see the up cards, so you sort of know pieces of everyone's hand, which is really fun, right? And then as each betting round progresses, you get 1 more card, you get 1 more card, you get 1 more card, that's 6th street. And then 7th street, you get your last card down, right? So it's a really interesting game because you get to know a lot about what your opponents have, but there's still a lot of strategy going on. Now, to throw a little wrench into the works, I'm actually starting with stud high-low. So what does that mean? Well, half of the pot is going to go to the best high hand, and that works like a normal no-limit hold'em hand. You take the best 5 cards in your hand, and that's your hand, right? So if you have queen, 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 ace, deuce, deuce, you have 4 of a kind queens with an ace kicker. The kicker doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Now, half the pot is going to go to the best low hand if you have 5 cards under an 8. So let's take a look around here, right? We see a 7, we see a deuce, we see a 3. So none of them we know. We know none of them have 4 cards to a low under an 8 because we can see their other cards, right? Now this person picks up a 5, this person picks up a 7, this person picks up a 4. Now it's possible that all 3 players potentially have 4 to a low, and that low is going to take half the pot. So the goal in this game is to really pay attention to what your opponents have and to try and win both the high pot and the low pot. Because if you're just playing for half the pot, you're only getting your money back most of the time, right? So let's see how this hand plays out. I haven't watched all of the action, but we do see an ace, a king, 7, and a 5, so this could be a low. And what we see on the end here is a pair of aces is going to take it for the high. And then for the low, oh no, 2 pair aces and 7s is going to take it for the high from 520 PS. We're actually going to raise this hand. We'll get to it in a second. Ace 7 5. And then our opponent Abigail here. Abigail has 7 6 5 4 ace. So they have 5 under an 8. They have a low, so they win the low part of the pot. This person wins the high pot. They chop it up. That's it. So now let's get to our hand. We have an ace 7 5. We have the ace 7 of diamonds down below, which has some really good high hand potential to win half the pot here. And we raise it up pre-flop, get 2 calls. So now we're on 4th street, and we have to decide whether we want to bet again. Well, 2 is a good card for us. This jack looks kind of weak. Like, what sort of hands can this have? A pair of jacks is not really a powerful pre-flop hand in this game. But now things get really, really ugly for us because we have a pair of 6s here, and they pick up an ace. So they are reading ace, deuce, 3. If they have 4 5, they have the perfect possible low. And the 6s with the jack probably has 2 pair here. Because why are they in there with the jack in the first place, right? Unless they had a flush draw. So basically, we're second best for the low right now, and we could be very far behind. And we're definitely second or third best for the high. So we are just going to fold now on 5th street. That's when the bets double. So I know there's been a lot of information going on, but basically we're just going to play a little bit of stud for about 20 minutes here and see what we can learn. I plan to play a bunch of the different mixed games because one of my favorite things to do in the past was to play 8-game. And 8-game has a mix of a bunch of different mixed games, and it's really fun to sort of get out of just the no-limit hold'em mode time after time after time, you know? So games like this are fun. And I thought I would share it with you guys. Okay, so we are 7-handed. We pick up 3, 4, 6, which is really good. Another useful thing in stud high-low is remembering the up cards. So you can go king, jack, 9, 7, 5, 5. King, jack, 9, 7, 5, 5. King, jack, 9, 7, 5, 5. Because when they fold, you want to remember that those cards are not in the deck, right? So we bring it in, we see a limp, and then we see a call here. Now, they pick up an 8. I don't know what sort of hands this could be. It doesn't really make too much sense. And the 7 picks up a 9. I still think we have the right price here. We have 3 to a low. We don't have too much going on for a high, but it's only $1 to win 4. Or half, you know, one to win 2. So now we pick up a 7. So we have a gut shot to a straight, and we also have the best low draw of the group, right? The best low draw they can have is 8-6. they only have 3 cards to a low maximum. So I think we actually bet out here with our 3, 4, 6, 7. Now, I'm not entirely sure. Again, like, I very rarely play stud high-low, but I'm just using some of my experience from the past to read into it. So now we have a low, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. They can't have a better low than us, right? The best low they can have is 8, 6, 5, deuce, ace. So we're definitely going to bet because we're going to get like half of this pot at least right now. And now we pick up an ace on the river. We don't have a low, but we're going to keep betting. And we're going to chop it up with a pair of jacks. Hey, we got a friend of the stream here, by the way. So we limp in with the deuce 4, 8, and we get a raise, and we get a raise. Now our low draw is like real crap here. The thing is, we did bring in, so it's only 60 cents to call 345. If I was like in early position, you know, I wouldn't continue with this hand. So we see a bet, and Abigail, I'm assuming, is going to continue here. No, they fold. Okay, so we're heads up. Either we have a decent low draw, or we're ahead for the high, so we're just going to call. We're probably not ahead with our pair of 2s, but now we're going to lead, because we have a pair of 2s, and we have 4 to a low, so we should be ahead most of the time. Now, they pick up a 5. It's possible for them to have a low now, and we still just have a pair of 2s for the high, so I'm going to check call, and have a king on the river. Now, can we fold this river if they bet? Because again, it's $2 to win $7.50, right? So, because we can only win half the pot, we don't have a low. Unless they miss their low and they're totally bluffing, but that's pretty unlikely. So, $2 to win $7.50. Are they bluffing at least 22% of the time, or are they just betting a low without a pair? And the answer is yes. So, like, often you're just gonna have to bet call in the river, and like we're gonna lose there a lot of the time, the whole pot, but there's nothing we can do because it's limit, right? So it's prices, and you sort of have to pay to see because every once in a while you're right. So we're going to lose one there. We have king 4, 8. This is a terrible hand. We're just going to fold. Interesting to see the queen up here coming along. And we have a 6, 8 here, so that's probably the best low draw right now. But everyone's going to go to 5th Street. No one has paired up here. We have a lot of sort of the same cards up right here. Queen and the queen, king, king, 8, 8. Everyone can potentially have, except for Fumi, can't have a low draw 4. But these two can both have 4 to a low. 7 and 4, okay. I mean, very remarkable how similar their boards are right now. Bet on the river and a fold. Okay, so Kianle is going to win. We're not going to be able to see what they had. If you guys have any questions about stud high low, by the way, let me know down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer anything you may have, any questions about the game. My experience with the game is I have watched maybe 8 training videos in my life, and this is back when I started playing poker. I also read Super System, which has, you know, big chapters on stud high low. Obviously, the game has evolved. Stud high low has evolved since then, but it gives you a decent basis of understanding of how the game works and some of the strategy. I've learned about 15 hours of stud high low in my life, and so that's not going to be a winner in most lineups. But, you know, if you are playing in some lineups where people are just having fun and they're just trying it out, you can do okay. Limp for 40 and a call. Can we play this ace queen 10? Well, I was an idiot and I don't remember what's up here, and we're only playing for one way. We're not going to have the best low hand, but it is nice to have this ace because sometimes you can bluff. I'm just going to fold because I think that's a good way to approach things when you're not super experienced or you're not an expert in the game. Just play a little bit tighter, right? Don't play too many hands. So yeah, anyways, I used to play a little bit of stud high low back in the day, sort of punting around. I didn't really know what I was doing. This is very, very beginning of me playing poker. But I have played a decent amount of 8 game, which has stud high low in it. So I have to be somewhat competent in understanding what's happening and what my opponents can have and stuff like that. But it really is a game where you need to be paying attention because you can get those thin edges by knowing what cards your opponents have folded at the table and really thinking through sort of like with the odds you're getting, which are always so good, whether you should be calling or not. So we have deuce 3, 7. We see jack, jack, king 6. I forget what this fold was, but king, jack, jack 6. King, jack, jack 6. And we should win this pot a lot. We have 3 to a low, so if Abigail decides to raise, we'll call, but they just fold, which is fine. So this is $1, $2 stud high low. Right now, and I'm playing at 1 in the morning. There is a $2, $4 going, there's a 25-cent, 50-cent, there's a 10-cent, 20-cent, and there's a 4-cent, 8-cent. So people are buying in for $2, and it's like lasting a long time. If you're brand new to poker and like it seems intimidating, and you want to try something else, why not try a game like this, right? A game where it's limits, so you know how much you're going to lose, and you can sort of try and get a grasp of some of the players, which you're probably going to see over and over again in your player pool and stuff. I'm going to fold the 3-5 king, because the king does nothing for us, right? It's a nothing card. Going to call and a call. 4 of clubs here. This is a very good card, right? It gives them a low draw, also gives them a potential flush draw and some straightening cards. 7, also not a bad card for turn 2 home, who calls. Now, Key probably shouldn't be in here with the jack in the first place. So now they're in a difficult spot. If both these players have 4 to a low and draws, like, Key is going to have a struggle having that jack's hold to the end. Key is going to bet 2, Fridalami. It's going to call, and turn 2 home is going to raise it up to $4 here. So turn 2 home very likely has a low, right? They're probably not raising a high hand here. They probably have 5 low cards. They recognize that neither of the other players yet have 5 low cards, so they're taking advantage. Now, it's a bit of an issue because they don't have a good low, and now both of these players pick up a low card. So now what do they do, right? It's a bet and a call. So it's probably that turn 2 home has like a 7 high low now. We get a raise from Kina Lee. I really don't know what Kina Lei has. Alright, and it's going to go to Showdown, and it's chop out from Kina Lei and Fridalami. Let's take a look here and see what they had. I'm going to fold. So what happened last end? Okay, so Kina Lei had Jack Ace 3, so they had 3 to a flush. I mean, if you're ever going to play Jack, that's a decent Jack to play. They have 2 low cards, they have 3 to a flush. They picked up a deuce on 4th Street, a 7 on 5th Street, giving them 4 to a low and 4 to a flush, which makes sense. And then a 6, which gives them the low, and then Queen on the river. So they brick the flush draw, but they have the best low of the bunch here and win the low pot. Now, Fridalimi starts with 3, 6, 7, picks up a 4, which gives them 3 to a flush, 4 to a low, and a gut shot to a straight. Bricks with the 10 turn, hits the ace, which is good, and then hits the 7 on the river, which is actually good for the high hand. So they win the high hand with a pair of 7s here. It's pretty crazy. Turn 2 home, as we expected, had deuce 4, 6, king 6, 3 deuce, king 6, 3 deuce, king 6, 3 deuce. So they had 4 to a low, and they hit their 8, so they had an 8, 7, 6, 4 deuce. They had a low before anyone else, and they raised, but the thing is, these people were drawing so strongly, they were actually probably behind there. Hit an ace on the turn, they went to a 7, 6, 4 deuce ace low, and then a queen on the river, but they were beat by this low. So that was the end of that. Okay, so we raise, we get a call and a call, and now the 3s decide to bet out here. I think I'm going to raise, and the reason is they're so short. So normally I'd be worried about the trips, but I think it's pretty likely that someone with this amount of money just wants to get it all in because they hit a pair. So I don't mind like trying to raise the price against Abigail here and try and get some extra money in against them, which we are very clearly ahead of them here. Showing a 6, unless they paired up the 9, which they almost never should, we're going to be quite ahead with our pair of 7s, and we had 3 to a low and now 4. Now 4 to a low. So let's keep playing Abigail for all she's worth. We have a 10 of clubs in the river. Okay, so we just still have a pair of 7s, but this should be good against Abigail. I'm going to start building the side pot. Unless they had a 10 or a 9 down, which is very unlikely, our 7s are still good for the high on the side. So we bet, get a call. We pick up a deuce on the river, which means we have 7, 4, 3, deuce, ace. Very strong low hand. Probably going to scoop the low. I think it's guaranteed, actually. Unless they have ace, deuce, 4. Unless this player has ace deuce 4, or this player has ace 3, 4, 5 or something. And then for the high, we still have a pair of 7s. Let's get this out of the way, and hopefully Abigail will pay us off with a $2 bet here. That's what we're hoping for. But we see a fold, trip jacks, actually a full house here. So we're going to win all of the side pot, which was only $4, and then we're going to win half of the main pot, which again had some of Abigail's money. So we profit a little bit there, but nothing too crazy, which again, that's why it's so powerful in this game to go for the whole pot, right? That needs to be the focus. Missed the up cards here, but we see 10 ace 5, 10 ace 5, 10 ace 5. Cool. And we're going to raise with our 6-3 ace. And Fridalimi calls. Okay, we have a 10 on the turn. They snap lead the 4 and snap call the king. $1 to win 560. I think we have to call one more. We don't have too much great news. Okay, we pick up a 4, which is good. Now we have 4 to a very strong low, and we also have some turns, or some 6 streets, excuse me, that can give us some outs to some good highs. So we'll call again for $2 here. 7, okay, we have a low. And we're the only one that has a low here. So we're going to bet this player's going to raise, or they should raise, so that we can freeze out this player. But they didn't. And now we're on the river with our 7, 6, 4, 3 ace. And they lead for $2. I think I'm just going to call. We're battling for low. This player's going to win the high. So I don't want to inflate it for half the pot, maybe. We do win, though. Our friend turned to home. Had 7, 6, 5, 3 deuce. We slightly had a better hand. Now, how the low part counts, again, you need 5 cards, 8 or under, to win a low. And you actually start counting from high to low. So it's a really common mistake. You say, you know, I had ace 2, 3, 4, 6. You know, why didn't I win? Or ace deuce 3, 7, 8. Why didn't I win against ace 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Because you count from high to low. So it's your highest card is the one that counts of the 5. So ace deuce 3, 4, 8 against 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6 is the high card. So the 6 is going to win. Even though you have the lower end, it's the top card. So just always remember, count from high to low on your lows. We're going to bring it in with the jack 5 deuce. It looks like the game is breaking. You guys, I'm such a fun player at this game. Why are you breaking the game? That's okay. We'll go for another like 2 minutes or something like that, and then we'll wrap it up. But hopefully you guys like the stud high low. If you want to see more mixed games like this, or if you want to see more stud high low, like I have fun playing these games every once in a while. And again, as you guys have know, I've been mentioning before the videos, my goal with this channel is different than a lot of other poker channels on YouTube. There's so many great poker channels on YouTube, and I think there deserves to be more great poker channels on YouTube, and hopefully we continue to see that happen. But all of them are focused on a couple things. One is live poker, and there's so much great live poker content. I'm not going to try and create it myself, right? And then the second part is strategy. You see so much quantitative strategy, and you know that's fine, and I could create that content, but I just like having fun playing poker, right? So I'm just trying to be the Let's Play channel of poker. And not the strategy, the quantitative part. You know, I'm doing a tutorial to stud here, but hopefully with this tutorial we can continue to play stud in the future just as a let's play. Okay, so we have a jack on the turn, but they pick up a low draw. So I guess we check call? I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I guess I'll check call. Okay, now we just check fold. Because the bet gets twice as big. And like, they can have any of these pairs or a low, and then we're playing for half the pot. So yeah, that's what you can expect to see from me, and you're seeing it from a couple of people, right? You're seeing it from my roommate Kevin Martin, who is also focusing on just like trying to have a good time, and then Flix as well. Flix also produces like really consistent YouTube content that is not as like strategy based, and it's more just like poker based, you know? So yeah. Hey, we got a friend of the channel here. Yes, almost done. Let's say hi. Be up tomorrow. There we go. All right, we got the shout out. One more hand after this, and then we're gonna wrap it up for this episode. But I had fun, man. And we are down 90 cents right now. We're down 90 cents. We don't even have a hand. Okay, we're gonna wait until we have a hand we can play past 3rd Street, okay? Because that's not fair. We don't want to end just like folding. That's boring. Nothing ever ends just folding. In tournaments, you never end your tournament life folding. You get some closure. Let's get some closure on this cash game. Am I gonna win or am I gonna lose? I'm gonna find out the next pot I play. Okay, a queen. I told you not to play this, but I think this is a different scenario. We have a 10, a 9, and an 8, and an 8. Really bad up cards, so it's going to be a high pot a lot of the time. So I'm actually gonna raise this up here to $1. There may be a small, like, this is probably going to be the last hand factor. How much do we have? We're up 10 cents! Just call me the stud high-low king, alright? Stud 8 king. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, let me know down in the comments, as I mentioned before. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. And thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to be back tomorrow, I think, with more stream highlights. I'm pretty sure with more stream highlights and some more spin and goes, but there'll be more time for stuff like this in the future. So thanks so much for watching, but until next time, we'll see you later.